What's up, internet? It's your boy, Wolf Boy, coming at you with the spicy opinions today. Uh, I'm gonna be ranking the XXL freshman freestyles from worst to best. This is gonna be a lot more casual video. I didn't write a script for this, I just ranked them, and I'm just gonna tell you my opinions. Number 9. So, I don't think I really need to elaborate on this. Pretty much everybody who's made a list has put Lil Pump at the bottom. His verse is just the lyrics from his latest song, Esket It. I mean, Esket It! And, he's not really bringing much in the way of an interesting performance. As the needle drop Anthony Fantano points out, he sounds kind of awkward. It's just not very entertaining. Like, the most interesting part about it is him holding the money up to his ear while he's doing the verse. Like, the money is somehow transmitting the lyrics to him. Yeah, I don't really need to elaborate on this. Number 8. So, uh, my I didn't dislike Smoke Perp's verse. I actually thought that it was entertaining and like it was catchy. It had a good flow. The only reason it's the second to last verse on this list is I thought the other ones were better. It's Smoke Perp. He's not bringing the most lyrically interesting verse or anything. The biggest thing that I liked about it was his flow and the rhyme scheme. It wasn't like, some MF Doom 4-syllable multi thing, but he's got some 2-syllable rhymes going throughout the whole thing, and it helps the whole thing sound nice and catchy. It's fine. It's a fine verse. I liked it. Number 7. Block Boy JB. Before listening to his freestyle, I have never heard any of his music. Only after did I go and look at Look Alive with Drake, and I also looked at Rover. I think that's the title of the song. I don't think he's a very good rapper, but I thought his verse for the freestyle was entertaining, to say the least. It's not like his bars were particularly original, but they were funny and kind of charismatic. Pull up on your block like Bowser spitting fire. That's kind of fun. I liked that he flipped the name of the magazine, Double XL, talk about his dick size. It's simple, but I thought it was effective. The reason I put him kind of low on the list compared to the others is, he's just not very energetic in his freestyle. He's mumbling a lot. He's not putting a lot of projection into his voice. He just could have had more presence. But honestly, I was entertained by it, and that's all I ask for in these freestyles. So, if he had more energy, I would have liked it. A lot more, that is. Number 6. So, some people were singing the praises of YBN Namir. I personally do not think he's that great. I think YBN Namir is a bit of a one-trick pony. What makes him unique as a rapper is his rapping about his personal experiences in the streets growing up in poverty. But again, I think he's a one-trick pony. I don't think he has anything going for him besides that. In his verse, he talks about that, and I think it is effective. It connects, but aside from that, there's nothing in the way of particularly good lyricism or flow. And I also, no one's mentioning this, but he has a line where he says he'll leave a
African American
dangerous. You mean you'll leave someone in danger, not dangerous. If someone is dangerous, that means they're a danger to you, but he's saying he's gonna kill someone, right? But like that's very clearly a mistake, right? They should have like redone that line, you know? I mean, these videos for the verses are very clearly edited for any parts where the rappers pause or like forget their lines. They should have edited that out. But they left it in. I don't is that the new slang? Is leaving someone dead now called leaving someone dangerous? I was a little disappointed. It wasn't bad, but I was a little bit disappointed. I'm definitely not going to put him any higher than number 6 on this list. Number 5, Wi-Fi's funeral. There's not a lot to dissect in the um, lyrics category with Wi-Fi's stuff. He's just talking about living in the streets and then coming up and now having money. It's pretty basic stuff in the Soundcloud rap area, but what makes Wi-Fi special is that he just does it with a level of technical ability that most other rappers don't. And he seems to have a very good grasp of what makes that style work. And he does that on his verse. He just comes with a pretty rapid fire, steady flow. Just some dark imagery and lyrics. And it's just pretty solid. I think the reason this verse works is because he wrote it for the freestyle, but then he just put it into a song over a beat, and it just, when you hear it in the context of the beat, it's just an average Wi-Fi's funeral song, and what that is just SoundCloud rap done well. And, it works. Wi-Fi's funeral. He's pretty good. Number 4. So I'm really torn on who to put in my number 4 spot, but I'm gonna have to give it to Trippie Redd. Trippie is a rapper who I'm personally a pretty big fan of, but a lot of people have problems with him. When most people complain about Trippie Redd, they say, oh, he's best when he's just doing that rapping delivery. And you know what? I can't disagree. He is best when he does the just traditional rapping, projected delivery, and he does a pretty good job doing that in his freestyle. The only reason I am putting him at number 4 instead of number 3 over the number 3 spot, who you'll see in a second, is he recycles some bars on this. Like, a pretty good chunk of this freestyle is from his Tim Westwood freestyle, which is a really good freestyle. I really like it, but, it's not entirely original. And that's really the only thing that brings it down for me, because otherwise, I think Trippie is definitely one of the best rappers on this list. But yeah, if he had come with more original material, he definitely would have been number 3 or maybe even number 2, honestly. But for now, that's where he stands. Number 3, Stefflon Don. I'll come out and say it, I have listened to zero Stefflon Don music at this point. Maybe I will. I put her at number 3 on this list, so clearly I liked what she can do. The reason I put her so high on this list is because I think she came with one of the catchiest flows in this whole group, and also she has like one of the more unique voices in the group. That's kind of the nature of her being the only woman on the group and from her being from the UK. So, by that nature, she sounds very unique amongst the rest of them. So, with her flow and her uniqueness, that's basically enough to get her to the 3rd place in this list. But lyrically, I thought there was, like, room for improvement. She didn't bring anything that amazed me. Maybe I missed something. I only listened to her verse, like, 2 or 3 times when making this list. There were other freestyles that I enjoyed more. But from what I could tell, it seemed solid. You know, better, slightly better than Trippy, just by nature of, as far as I can tell, there not being recycled bars and her flow being slightly better. As you can probably tell from my opinions of all of the people on this list, most of the verses for these freestyles were okay. They were just okay. And with the exception of the last spot and the first spot, they were all just grayscale in the areas of, well, they did fine, they could have done better. The number 2 spot and number 1 spot are the only ones with verses that I thought were really actually good. So, number 2, Ski Mask, the Slump God. In case you can't tell, I really like Ski Mask, the Slump God. He just has so much personality, which is kind of a rarity these days, since a lot of rappers tend to sound the same. Lyrically, Ski Mask is not the best. He does have wordplay, and sometimes it is kind of clever. Really, what sells Ski Mask is his insane flow, which he definitely showcases on this freestyle verse, and also his, even though his lyrics aren't the most clever, they're very weird and saturated with all these pop culture references that you won't hear in most other rap verses. And he brings both of those in his freestyle verse, and for me, that was enough to put this above most of the other rappers on this list. I played this verse over and over again after hearing it because it's so energetic, it gets me hyped up. I fucking love Ski Mask. And number 1, j.i.d, j.i.d. j.i.d is clearly the best one on the list. There's no contests. In terms of j.i.d's own discography, he may not have, like, the most catchy songs all the time. He may not consistently put out the greatest songs, but, like, in terms of lyrics, he's definitely the best on this list. And so when it comes to an a cappella freestyle, j.i.d clearly had to win. He had just so many, like, clever plays on words in his lyrics, like, we don't let bygones be bygones, we buy guns and squeeze like a python. Basically, if I was to sit here and quote all of the good lyrics, I would just quote the whole verse. This is the only freestyle in this list that was really great. Some of them were good, most of them were average, but this one was really great. You saw this coming. If you've watched any other lists, if you've listened to the freestyles, you know j.i.d had to win. There's very few constants in this world. Grass grows, sun shines, birds fly, and j.i.d is the greatest 2018 XXL freshman. So there you have it. That's my list. This is probably the worst video I've ever made, but you know what? I just wanted to get my opinion out there, because honestly, when I heard CDTV's list and Anthony Fantano's list, I had a very different opinion from them on, you know, the placement of a lot of the more mid-tier rappers. So I just wanted to make this video to give my 2 cents. I hope everyone enjoyed. You know, please subscribe, like, share. Post in the comments who your placements for the freestyles were. Let me know if I'm completely full of shit. Let me know if YBN Namir is actually the GOAT and I'm just an idiot. Peace out. Living like a roller coaster, feeling so bipolar. Some days it's up and over, sometimes blowing doja with the homies. I never let no bad vibes control me and spit so broly. Yeah, other days feel like I'm dying slowly. Whoa.